Welcome back. In case you're just joining us, this is the press reaching you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. Now we've been joined by our guest, Habib Gajo, who's a policy analyst, to join us on this conversation. You're welcome today.
You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me. And I'm good. Nice to be here.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to have you in the studio today. All right, our phone lines are open for you to call in and make your contributions known. Today, let's begin with what's hitting on our national dailies. And the first one I want us to look at is the ministerial list that has been, in contention since it came out a few days ago. And there's this headline on the Daily Sun that says, LP faults choice of ministers, says Nigeria deserves better than recycled forces, vows to challenge submission of incomplete lists. Now, the issue of incomplete lists is on the side. And then the issue of recycling forces is another bone of contention. So I want you to react to this.
Yeah, the incomplete list, I think they submitted the list to the National Assembly 2 days, I think, is it 1 day or 2 days to the expiration date? That's 58 days. 58 days, and the list is not complete. And the law says ministerial list. So now we have incomplete list. But the issue is where the matters lies, or where people argue too much. To me, I look at it, the Constitution is silent about incomplete list.
The Constitution is silent, either it's complete or it's not complete.
It must just the deadline.
The thing is,
deadline.
A list must be submitted.
A list must be submitted.
Okay.
But it is silent on how you can add, or you bring another one, or you replace some people. Because according to the list, I have seen there is people that need to be changed. Definitely they will change some names.
Okay.
Yes, from because this is a hurried, just to beat.
So you think some people are like placeholders?
That's what I think, because if you look at the names, you look at their profile.
What names are you looking at there?
You will now understand. No, I don't want to mention names, but I will mention.
You don't want to indict yourself.
I will mention 2 or 3 people that they are not supposed to be in the list in the first place.
Okay.
Mala Nasiru El-Rufai, the former governor of Kaduna State, and River State former governor Nasiru Wike. I think.
What would be your reasons why? Okay, because you said 3, so let me let you mention the third person you wanted to mention.
Umahi.
Dave Umahi, former governor of Ebonyi State.
Yes.
Okay, now let's. My colleague here talked about Labour Party's vow to challenge the incomplete list. Now, I want to look at it from a more holistic point of view. Now, they are set for screening. If we look at the pattern of the screening at the Nigerian Senate over time, there are some of the names that has been mentioned. Some of them are past senators, some of them former governors, and some of them are new in the conversation, like they've never had a public office before now. Now, let's assume the former senators amongst them, they are going to have an easy ride. The former governors are expected to have an easy ride. Now, what's your take about the general screening process? Looking at the fact that the names were just submitted, but without their portfolios. You can imagine a situation whereby you are screening a man that the president has in mind to to head the Ministry of Health, and you are screening him for in the line of transportation. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, first one, the issue of the Labour Party to challenge the Ministerial is, I think, that one is immaterial. It will not go anywhere because the Constitution said President submit list. You understand? Of course. Did not say submit complete list. And every state has a one slot. You understand? Of course. Like I said, there is some placeholders in the list. If you look at Bauchi State, you see 2 names from Bauchi State. So you now understand the angle I'm going. The issue of the 3 governors. Umahi was elected senator for 4 years to represent his own senatorial district. And he's going to be, he's in the ministerial list. So if he's a minister, the president has the power to hire and fire. He can be fired tomorrow. He can be appointed minister today and be fired next week. Okay. You understand? Like Mala Nasiru Erufai, who said he's a minister when he was 43 years old. You understand? He was this, he was that, and he's a governor at 63, 20 years later, to come back and do what? They should look for another breed, new breed to come out. Let them groom people. They are not the only one. You understand? Like Nancy Wike, who said, he has malaria. How can he go to to run for to go to where he will catch cancer? You understand? And this is the government he's been criticizing for over 8 years. So. But
then the idea of people criticizing a particular political party and at the end of the day becoming their member, strong, vital member of them, I believe it's no longer new in Nigeria. We saw how much the likes of Femi Fani-Kayode criticized the APC. We saw, and vice versa. We saw how PDP, someone like Senator Dino Melaye, how he fought the PDP dirty in 2014 before he became a member of the APC and went back to the PDP.
All these things depend on the philosophy and the ideology of the party and its members. If party deviate from their own manifesto, and definitely some people will criticize the party, and when they criticize the party, they became internal enemies. You understand? Yes. It happened recently in APC with Salihu Lukman. You understand? Against Abdullah Adamu and Omesheri. At the end of the day, all of them went and he resigned, and the acting chairman was appointed minister. So these are the things that complicate issues, complicate or turn the head of Nigerians, that they don't understand how the government operate or how the government want help or work with ordinary Nigerians.
All right.
You understand?
Yes.
You talk about labor. So that's how now the labor is threatening again. Is no longer a threat, because from the look of things, the way things are going, the way the government don't want to negotiate, the way the government is not open for negotiation. You understand? Anytime they made a closed door meeting, when they came out, it's only labor that addressed the press. From the government side, is silent. Right. So definitely there is something that the government is
All right, let's quickly take this call. Hello, good morning. You're welcome to the press. Please tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Akim calling from Lagos.
All right.
Hello, Francis and Alhassan.
You're welcome to the
and
program.
hello also to Mr. Gajo, the analyst. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I will want to a little bit disagree with your analyst over some of the ministerial leaks. And I tend to follow the line of Francis, because if you see Nigerian politicians, we don't have different political parties. We have just one political party. You may be wondering why. And it's just like what Francis said. Today you see one person in ADC, tomorrow is in Labour Party, and Labour Party is in PDP. You don't even know where, you don't even have any idea. So let's leave that one aside. In terms of the issue of the ministerial list, the fact that somebody has been there for quite a long time, I don't think is a strong reason to say that the person is not fit to be there again. What matters, I think, is performance. Let me bring an example. I know some people want to disagree, but this is my own view. Madam Nasser El-Rufai, when Obasanjo was in power, everybody knew how he performed during his Federal Capital Territory administration. And even in Kaduna State, the fact that some are taking him to be a religious bigot, which I tend to disagree. For anyone who understands Kaduna politics, you know, I mean, some southern Kadunas are very good people, but you know, politicians can manipulate people. The reason why El-Rufai has to choose Muslim ticket is because those politicians, not the Christians of the southern Kaduna, but the politicians are trying to use that against him. And for him, he you know, is a very strong body in principle person. So he has to choose a Muslim ticket. And at the end, and that does not mean that he didn't perform in southern Kaduna or anywhere else. So let's leave that one aside. So across, even Yansa Wiki or Imai, are you going to say Imai didn't perform as a governor? Or even if it is Yansa Wiki himself, he performed as a governor. So I think the most important thing here is the performance that we are looking for. And you can't take that one away, for example, from El-Rufai, especially if he's appointed in a place where discipline is required. I know this man will do it very well. And even against the weekend, I can't really say about it so well, but with those things we see on television, if they are really true, he can as well perform. You know, and there's one silent person there, lastly, there's one silent person there that the former governor of Jigawa, what's that name? I can't recall now.
Abubakar Badaru.
Yes, Badaru. You know, that man is just silent and quiet, and to me, is the most peaceful person and who coordinates even APC for peaceful things in that party. We need that sort kind of person. So the thing is that we should not go completely criticizing simply. There's nothing like recycling. Performance is what we need.
All right.
So thank you.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution.
Very much.
You know, I was going to ask you a question. I know you want to comment on that. There's this headline on The Guardian that says, economy, rule of law, foreign policy, security, top agenda for nominees. Now, do you not think that these people are capable enough to handle some of the things? You know, before we started the program, or when we started, Francis said, this is not a good time to be the president of Nigeria. Now, imagine the portfolios, or let's just look at their profiles, the profiles of these nominees so far. Do you not think that they are capable enough, away from recycling, away from age, sentiments, and every other thing? Do you not think that they have capable experience and knowledge enough to rule this country at this time, or to, you know, pilot the affairs of the nation at this time?
You see, I don't understand the type of experience that the former governors have, because they are the one that put us inside this quagmire. We are in trouble because of them. Our economy collapsed, and our national security collapsed because of them.
Are you saying
because they are incompetency?
Are you saying the government?
No, I'm coming. Okay. You see, now you brought them to be your ministers. You understand? Male El-Rufai is not about competency. You understand?
It's about
It's
age.
not about the work he did before or during Obasanjo. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
It's not about that or what he did as a governor.
Then what is it about?
You understand? Malam Nasiru El-Rufai, he became a most controversial politician in the northern Nigeria. Nelson Wike, forget about the flyovers and so on. He became the most noisiest, controversial person in the South.
Okay.
Now, if you have these two kind of people inside your cabinet, tell me, what are you going to get? Controversies. That's what we are worried. We can understand the layman's theory. Hakim, even you, if they give you minister, you perform better than El-Rufai at your age. Now El-Rufai will be relaxing, he will be sleeping. When there is issues, they will call him, he will now come and blow drama.
But then we have had young ministers too that
yes,
their performances have been described by Nigerians as abysmal. Take for example the former minister of humanitarian affairs, disaster management and social development, Hajia Sadira Umar Farouk. She was even said by Nigerians to have been the originator of e-feeding. E-feeding. So we've had quite a number of young people at the helm of government that have not really, that did not really repay the confidence imposed on them by Nigerians.
Let me tell you, and let the listeners understand that the first set of advisors that President Tinubu assembled, they are new people. You understand? New faces, fresh ideas. You understand? Very articulated, and so on. And I'm not surprised to see Dele Alake inside the ministerial list. Definitely, even without portfolio, that man can be a minister of information. There is one son who is defending Tinubu in tribunal. Not Wale, something Edegbeteni. Now, his name is there. Definitely is going to be the Attorney General.
We'll have Professor Pate as well, probably looking at health. Yeah.
You understand? There is people you know already that this is where they are going. So, but those we can't be recycling old leaders. But I agree that we can mix the old and the new. You understand? In order to groom the new one. But when all the old ones capture all the position in government and their cronies, you can't expect something.
Another thing I want to ask is it not possible for someone who has done well, probably exceptionally well, to come again, especially looking at it from the angle of, there's this proverb that's usually said in my place, they will say the old broom knows how to sweep the house better. So what about from that angle?
Let Abubakar Rimi in 1979, when Awolowo submitted his memoranda in the constitutional review, after Awolowo, Chief Abubafemi Awolowo finishes reading his memoranda, Abubakar Rimi rose up and said, we don't need old broom to sweep. We need a new broom to sweep our country clean. You understand?
Okay.
That's how it is. I commend the president by including women. You understand?
25% for now, while women are clamoring for 35%.
You understand? So we expect the remaining 16,
10%.
Well, they could have the remaining 10%.
The remaining 10%, I know another woman will also emerge. You understand? But you talk about the screening in the National Assembly. Most of these nominees, most of them are senators. You understand? The former governors, the former minister, if they come, what are you going to screen them? They have already been screened.
But
you understand?
But the reason why I'm asking,
bow and go.
The reason why I'm asking now is the fact.
Yes, that's the terminology.
So are you saying? First of all, are you saying now that we're about to see another era of rubber stamp?
That's what that means.
No, secondly. Now, because of our time is fast spent, I want us to go to the ECOWAS issue. But in 30 seconds, I want you to just respond to this. The screening is not going to be carried out by just the APC lawmakers. We have the APC, we have the PDP, we have the Labour Party.
Every representative of political parties.
We have representatives of virtually all the political parties. So, how workable do you think this will be?
For example, now the APC chairman.
Briefly.
The APC chairman, Kyari, is a former senator. He's a national, acting national chairman of APC. He went for screening. Who do you think will ask him a question? Whether from Labour Party, from SDP, or from PDP. He will say, bow and go. And those who will not bow and go, they will go and lobby. There is a lobbyist. You understand? So that you cannot be thoroughly screened, or they will, like you said, it's even more than rubber stamp. This National Assembly is just a combination.
That's a big allegation there.
That's a combination that you didn't say that.
Now let's move on to other stories. Now, a lot is happening in Niger Republic. The military takeover of government in Niger, and the ECOWAS has given the Couist 1 week to reinstate the president, and in addition to that, all the land and air borders have been closed. And if this deadline is not met, there is a threat of using force, which means deploying the military on ground there. What would likely be the implication of this if it happens? Seeing that in the last 3 years there has been 7 different coups in the Sahel region.
You see, when you said the military intervention, you understand now who will send the military? Did the ECOWAS has a military?
Definitely, the ECOWAS JTF is far superior to what the Niger junta has on ground right now.
The ECOWAS JTF, do you know their role? Their role is to fight terrorism, not to fight coupists or regime changers. You understand?
Of course.
So they have a mandate.
But there are situations where they can make exceptions.
Where the ECOWAS went wrong on putting those sanctions is no-fly zones and freezing of assets of Niger. Now, already the military, the new government have already closed the borders, even before the ECOWAS. You understand? Who will enforce no-fly zone, for example? Who will enforce freezing of assets of Niger? You understand? They should negotiate with the military to step down and to restore
normalcy,
and the democratic elected government to continue. You understand? It happens in Guinea. It happens in Guinea-Bissau. It happens in Mali. It happens in, and it's like there is an international affiliation.
In Mali, there has been no elections till this moment.
If you look at these countries that are having coups, it's a Francophone countries. You understand? And we didn't hear from France. Did you hear from them?
At all.
In Mali, did you hear from them? In Burkina Faso, did you hear from them? Guinea-Bissau is Portugal. No, you don't hear from their masters. Definitely, their masters are in support of the overthrow. You understand? Because of certain policies that did not suit them. For example, here we discuss when Naira redesign got tough and Nigerians are in dire need of money. They want to sell their goods to have money or to buy. They ran to Niger. They were trading in safer in our borders. Do you remember that time?
Yes, very well.
So, if the president of Niger said, I want to merge Naira and safer, what is wrong about that? You can trade with Naira, you can trade with safer, which will help the economy. And they went and overthrew him. And the ECOWAS was busy putting sanctions. Sanctions don't work now. How many? There is more than 10,000 sanctions against Russia. Did the Russian economy collapse? Collapse is still going on. Their currency, in fact, their economy has threatened than even those who put sanctions on them.
Okay, but let's look at the security implications this will have on the neighboring countries, because the ripple effect of the civil war in Libya is still very much in our eyes. I'm talking about the proliferation of arms. What are your projections for as regards the security implications of this unrest in Niger, especially in Nigeria, where we already have our issues that is threatening to overwhelm our armed forces?
You see, like I said earlier, the international communities or the Western world, they have two things to offer you. Only two things. First, they will say, this is our policy. This is our strategy. Follow. If you don't follow, we'll remove you. That's two things.
Okay.
If you didn't follow, they remove you. You understand? That is why when they went to Russia, African-Russia summit, that is why Putin openly promised African countries. You understand? And if he did not, open up at that meeting, then definitely there will be a problem that we have Wagner groups in other side of the country. Like Mali, like Sudan, like Equatorial Guinea.
But then, if you look at the activities of these Wagner groups in these countries you have talked about, we got there and it was more chaos. Now you compared the economy of Russia to the economy of Niger Republic. Let's bear in mind that Russia as a country do not largely depend on foreign aids,
yes.
on foreign aids. But compared to Niger Republic, over 70% of their economy is run on foreign aids. France are cutting off their economic intervention. The West are cutting off their economic intervention. Possibly America will be cutting off their economic intervention, because we do not know how. But for now, we don't know how far that will go, because the US, they have a drone base in Niger, with which they use for their surveillance. So if we compare, don't you think it would be far-fetched comparing Niger's economy, Niger's economic ability to withstand external pressure to Russia?
No, I'm not comparing. There is no basis of comparison with Russia, and I think you misunderstood me.
Okay.
I am talking about African countries, so-called ECOWAS, that are imposing sanctions on Niger.
Yes.
So I now give you an example. Even the Russia, that the whole world put sanction on them of more than 10,000 sanctions, it has backfired. You understand? So definitely these sanctions against Niger will also backfire.
No,
because African leaders were never serious in any matter.
Talking about
their foreign policies are weak. They don't even have a strategy of foreign policy. So they don't. Let me tell you something. Okay. It will shock Nigerians that it's only Murtala. After Tafawa Balewa, it's Murtala that sat and designed the Nigerian foreign policy that we are working with up till today. That is why they are calling us the giant of Africa. And yesterday, the president of Nigeria, Asuwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, he put the rhetoric of Murtala that Africa has awakened. So we will no longer accept coups, overturn of government.
Right.
You understand?
Yes.
Tumbling and suspending or constitution. We need a constitutional democracy to progress. You understand? He made it very clear. So this is the first time we are seeing a strategy on foreign policy from the president.
All right, that's
what I mean.
Let's talk about this backfiring of sanctions now, because Niger coup leaders actually spoke. They want ECOWAS, as Commission imposes sanctions. They've come back to also warn, ECOWAS because of the sanctions that they've actually placed on them. And you were actually suggesting some sort of, meeting at a point, discussing things. But do you see situations where they can have a discussion, especially looking at other countries where this has happened? Can a discussion come as a solution at this point?
Yes. It's all about foreign policies and international relations. Nigeria, as a leader of ECOWAS, can move and mobilize the resources first, and the intellectuals and the leaders in this world to negotiate. You understand? To negotiate with the military to hand over power back, because we no longer have military to fight another country. There is no more ECOMOG again. You understand? You need France, you need United Nations, you need other countries, and that is diplomacy. You understand? It happens in Sierra Leone. It happened in Liberia, and which country? There is another country. You understand? It's true. After fight, it's true. You negotiate and go back. You understand? They don't. It's just like what ECOWAS did yesterday is just like trying to extract milk from an elephant. You understand? So,
this description is powerful.
Yes,
your illustration.
Yes, you can't be boldly imposing sanctions, and these are military guys. And if you look at the protests in Niger, they have a support base. They are carrying another country's flag. They are burning other countries' flag. They are saying, we don't want you. They were burning their embassies, their offices, their companies.
They are trying to do something more like what happened in Afghanistan.
Yes, leave our country. We are tired of you. You understand? And they are carrying the flag of Russia. You understand?
Yes.
That they need Russia to come and help them. Not even ECOWAS.
Thank you very much, Habib Gajo. We really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for today. All right, viewers, that's how we draw the curtains on today's episode of The Press. We'll see you again tomorrow. I am Olamide Alhassan.
And I am Francis Adeniyi. Have a nice day ahead.